Welcome in, everybody. You're hitting the best part of the Ginn Project right now. Just kidding. Today we're going to be talking about editing. So when you get to editing this, take that part I just said out. And we're going to be talking about everything from editing your editing your profile to editing videos.
He's being careful. He's got to be careful what he says now, y'all, or TikTok will get on him.
I don't want to trash your show at the very end.
He's talking about editing and he can't say any of the implements. It's crazy.
But when Mondo was on here before, and he said something very interesting that his professor had said. You're only as good as your worst piece in your portfolio. And that's very honest. So the worst piece you have is going to be representing your level. And it does that with any kind of portfolio. You have to go through it and edit. You have to be able to unalive your darlings, as they say in the writing industry. So get rid of things that aren't as great as you want to present yourself. That's all there is to it. So your portfolio is you. So that's part of editing. And when we get into editing as your profile, you want to present yourself the way you want to present yourself, right? You, like Ginn, has a very different way of presenting himself than I do. My late night shows are very different than this show. So in a way, I'm editing how I act on this show. It's not fake. It's not anything like that. It's just I understand the rules and I perform at that level. And so you kind of edit who you are in a way, just like you do in society, right? And you have to do that when you go to galleries as well. You have to edit and understand who you are and how you function and how you're going to function within that gallery. So editing. So you edit your portfolio and you edit your attitude so that you can work within the artist industry. The other thing is we get into something that I wish I would have known 3 years ago, and that's how to edit videos on this platform. That's one thing that we all kind of wish we would have known when we started out. And if you're a visual artist, this is kind of interesting. I see a lot of visual artists make one mistake. They show their piece at the beginning of the video, and you're basically giving up the want to see the rest of the video. You've already shared the piece. So you're not going to get any hits. You're not going to get any draw in because you've already given up the main product. So you do close-ups or you do yourself. You show yourself as a product as well, because your personality is going to sell the pieces as well. If you're not comfortable in front of the camera, that's fine. Just do your artwork. Show progression of your artwork. Show close-ups. Don't use too many editing things. Just don't make it flash like a strobe light, or you're going to drive away an audience. So you want to catch somebody within the first 3 seconds. It's called a hook. You want to hook them in the first 3 seconds. And sometimes when you do the no flashing, please, Laura. I don't know if I could do that on here. Yeah, I'm going to reserve myself not to go and flash you guys. All right. So basically, yeah, Ginn's done it before. Don't threaten him with a good time. So basically, you need a hook at the beginning of your video. And that could be music. Pick out your music well. Understand the music and what you're going to use for your video. But draw them in that 3 seconds. Because if you lose them in the 3 seconds, your video is not going to perform well. And also, when you're using editing equipment, there's the native equipment that's in TikTok, which is pretty good for what you're using. I mean, if you don't want to spend cash on it, use the native equipment within TikTok. You could do a whole lot with it. I did a lot with it for the first 2 years. I only used the TikTok editing equipment. Then later on, I went and started using Cap, the other one, Cap, and kind of up the game. And it has more equipment and more tools. So don't go and spend money if you don't want to spend money or if you don't have it. You could still put out quality videos. As your art is the sales, right? Your art is what drives the video. Make sure you showcase your art. Make sure that is the main focus, or who you are as an artist. Do promo videos for yourself. Be who you are. That is a big sales pitch to your artwork. Put out your personality. Who are you? That is going to get you further than 100 videos that don't say anything. And that's the thing. We go back to the other part that I said at the beginning. You're only as good as your worst piece. And if you're putting out 100 videos a day and they're all not good, they're not going to think much of your art either. So make sure you take the time and do something right. All right. That's all I got to say about that.
I love it, man. I love it. Yeah, I mean, it's that simple. Take the time. If you're going to put it out there and it's going to represent your work, then take the time to make it right, because it's representing your work. So the one day that you're slack, that you don't stick to that rule, is the time that person comes along that's going to be checking out your stuff, that's interested in maybe taking your stuff to the next level, making a purchase, whatever. And they decide to pass on it because they saw you at your worst moment. Yeah. Basically, you know what I mean? And it's like you were talking about, yeah, I mean, we've had this conversation, and part of it is just because you're considerate, but like you were saying, what we do on this show is different than what I might do in my own flow state. Or what you might do in your live. And we've got a standing rule. People may not know this, but I'll tell them. I don't care. When I'm in your lives, I'll follow your rules. I'll try to do the things that you like in your live to make your live better, because that's why I'm there, is because I'm a guest in your live. And when you're live with me, you do the same. You don't break out some of the puppetry stuff that you have, and just a quick little anecdote. I redid a baptismal on here, on this platform, live. It took a few months. I'm not a member of that particular organization. I don't have any affiliation with them at all, but it was quite the honor for them to ask me to do that particular piece of work, historically speaking, in the town that I live in. And that group of people, as I was working on their piece and I'm doing it live, I tried to make sure that songs that came on the radio wouldn't be offensive to their thing. I tried to go with their vibe while I'm working on their stuff. If that makes sense. So, and there are other people, clients that I have that would be on the other end of the spectrum that would be wilding out if you gave them the opportunity to. You know what I mean? And you want to be respectful to both, right? So you got to remember that lowest common denominator thing, because that's what people end up remembering you by. How many times have you done a post that you spent an hour trying to figure out, and then you threw something up that was kind of a joke, and that's the one that goes viral, right? Yeah, exactly, you know what I mean? Exactly. So anyway, yeah, man, interesting. I love your new segment, man. Thank you for doing that. It's fantastic. It really is.
I like doing it. And yeah, it's funny because the videos you put up, yeah, they represent who you are as a person, who you are as an artist, who you are operating in the universe, basically. So you want to make sure you're putting out who you are, and don't fib about who you are because we could see it. Be who you are and be real, just like unlike AI, be real.
Be real, right? Right? Absolutely.